to take you guys out to give you an update on the trees coming down. And there's a crop duster going over, so got you a shot of that. It went straight over my house. The tree guys were here till dusk last night because this monster right here was the last big pine tree for them to take down, and he wanted to get it to where, in case we have a storm, there would be no chance of it falling. So he topped it out, took all the branches off of it. They ran into a bit of a trouble last night. Oh, here comes the crop duster again. There was multiple problems, but his main problem was his saw, which is still hanging there, if you can see it. Got trapped, and there was two guys out here helping him, and they could not pull it hard enough to release the blade. So then Scott and Travis came out, so there were 4 men on that rope, and the main tree guy, I don't know if he had climbed down and was on the rope too. I don't think so. I think he was up there. No, he was still up there trying to get the saw out. And there were 4 men pulling on the rope to release the blade, and they couldn't do it. So Scott had to pull his truck and hook it to the truck, and they were able to get the saw released, and they took the top out of it. You can see it laying right there. And so this is the rest of the tree that they're going to have to come back at a later date, but it is so blasted hot right now that they're not going to come back for a few days, which is fine. They were here for 3 days in a row. They got all of the big logs cut up in pieces. They know somebody who wants this wood, so yay, it's gonna be gone. Now all the brush that's pulled out into the woods, Scott's gonna have to deal with that, but that's fine. And it's gonna be so clear that we're now thinking about, can we put a garage out, not a garage, but like a storage shed or something out here in this area, because it's property, our property, that's never been utilized because it's just been woods this whole time. Scott wants him to top out this oak tree right here, because if it, for some, if it fell for whatever reason, it could hit the house. So he just wants him to take not kill it, but just kind of prune it back, get the top branches out of it, so maybe it will start growing outwards instead of upwards. And then there's this tree over here covered in poison ivy right by the shed. This tree here, that is a maple, silver maple, and it is not a good tree. It's like, has a stump where like 3 separate trees are growing out of, and they're all real spindly. And maples are very notorious for falling easily, for large limbs falling off of them, and so that tree's going to come down. That big pine right there, that's staying. If it were to fall, it would take out our electric pole, but it wouldn't. There's no danger of it hitting a structure, so that one's staying. But it's definitely changed the landscape. Unfortunately, the unfortunate part of it is now there's way too much sun on my front deck. So all my shade-loving plants are not doing well. I put some shade cloth on my house plants. I don't know if you can see, we're like right in the sun. But yeah, I put shade cloth on my house plants. But my impatiens who love shade are not doing well. So anyway, that's that update. And now I have a kind of a sad update. I really was debating whether I was even going to tell you guys, because sometimes you can get some backlash on the internet that's not kind. So I pray that everyone who watches this video is kind to me. One of my barn cats, my outside cats, chicken cat, if you remember her, disappeared about a week ago, and not seen her since. The last time I saw her, she was completely fine. She was eating. I know that she had gotten really skinny over the winter, but we had a pretty rough winter, just like we've had a really rough summer. It was cold, really cold for a long time, and so I just figured she had gotten skinny because of the winter. So when spring came, I started, well, even before spring came, but particularly after the weather broke, I started doing extra things for her, feeding her extra. I thought maybe she had worms, so I was giving her some natural dewormer, and she was looking a lot better. She was, her fur was looking better. She was just beginning to put on a little bit more weight. So I thought, well, you know, that was it. That was the reason. And it very well still could have been the reason why she was so thin. But anyway, the last time I saw her was a week ago today. She came and had breakfast like she always does. Then she wasn't there for supper time, which is not completely uncommon for her. And then Scott, I didn't see her on Friday, which was a little weird. Well, then Scott does chores on the weekend, and it rained and rained and rained and rained and rained and rained and rained Saturday and then into Sunday. Well, Sunday evening comes, and I said, have you seen Chicken Cat? And he's like, no, I haven't seen her. And I said, well, maybe she's just hiding because it's been raining so much. So Sunday evening, it had stopped raining, and I went out and I looked and walked the property and called and looked in all of her normal hiding places, and I didn't see her. And I have been watching and looking for her every day since. And here it is, exactly a week later, and I have not seen her. So I don't think she went off somewhere and died, because like I said, she was not sick. She didn't act sick. She was still purring and wanting to be petted and eating and everything. The only thing that we can figure is that a coyote got her. She didn't really wander far away from the property, but you see these woods all around us. We've had foxes come up right up against the back fence and just sit there and watch our chickens and ducks. We have wildlife around here, and I never thought she would be in any kind of danger from predators, because like I said, she didn't wander far from the house, and she was a good climber. She had all of her claws, and she could get away from them. But I walked the road. I did not see her, but she never went down by the road. I never was worried about her getting hit by a car, because she never went by the road. We're still holding out hope that, you know, maybe she just went for a ramble somewhere and she'll come back. She was spayed, so she had no like instincts to take her to find a mate. So I don't know, but I just wanted to share that with you. I am sad. I get way too attached, but it's just what happens when you have outside animals. And for those of you who don't know, we could not possibly bring her in the house for two reasons. She was half feral, which, if you don't know what that means, she was wild. She was wild, wild, wild. In fact, when she first showed up here, you could not even put your hand on her. You couldn't even get within 20 feet of her. And over slow time, I tamed her down to where she would let you pet her, but she did not want to be picked up. She would not have been happy in the house, especially with our dogs. And then the second main reason, that noisy plane to go by, the second main reason is because Travis, Olivia, and I are all allergic to cats on varying degrees. Travis being the most allergic, his eyes and throat swell up. So it's very serious for him if he were to get in contact with a cat. I get kind of like cold symptoms if I'm around a cat too much. Sneezing, watery eyes, running. It can go into full-blown like sore throat, feel terrible for days situation. And then Olivia is like me, but not quite as severe as I am towards cats. So there's no way we could have a house cat. But anyway, just wanted to share that with you. If she happens to show up, of course I will let you know. Well, good morning, friends. It is Friday, and I already know this video is going to be a compilation of just little clips of things that I do over the next several days. And you'll be seeing this video on Wednesday. It's just, I have been super like chilled out, and things have just really slowed down a lot for us, and I'm so thankful for that. But it just means that I'm not like go. I don't have a ton of stuff to film. So I'm just gonna be taking it easy and just compiling things that happen throughout the next few days, things that I do, and I think it will end up being a entertaining video, hopefully. It doesn't matter to you guys how many days I film. But anyway, I just wanted to pop on here really quick and give an update on Oliver. I mentioned, I think in my last vlog, that he was going to be getting a lump removed, and I also put it on my community page the day that he had the surgery. And we got a call from the vet yesterday, and praise the Lord, that lump came back as a benign cyst, and they got it all, they excised it all, and he should have a complete recovery. And yeah, and the vet did say that once they get a cyst, they are more prone to have more. But if he does get another lump, rather than have him have a big surgery, we'll just have them do a needle aspiration of it to make sure. And if it is a cyst, we probably won't have it removed right away because it's expensive and it puts the dog through stress that they don't need to go through. Him having to go to the vet, be there all day long, come home with a big old incision and all of that. So we want to, and the recovery time and everything. So we don't want to put him through that. Really, the only reason why we had this cyst, well, it was removed for a couple of reasons. He was going to be going in and going under anesthesia anyway, because he was getting a dental visit, his teeth cleaned. And so we thought, since he was already going to be under, and he was already going to have to go to the vet and do all of that anyway, that we might as well just have it removed. And then that way, if it turned out to be a tumor, then he not have had to go under anesthesia twice. And I just feel like we needed to be really quick about it. So we went ahead and did it in an aggressive manner, and I don't regret it. I'm glad the cyst is gone. I'm glad it was just a cyst. And it's made me think about a few things as far as care for my animals from now on. I have implemented something new into their diet. Let me show you. I have started giving my dogs this once a day. It's a powder, and it does smell like milk, so it is what it says it is. And it is to boost their immune systems. It's got immune, I don't know if you can read that, it's not clear for whatever reason. So it helps with their immune support, it helps with their gut biome, and then it also helps with seasonal allergies, which I haven't really noticed that in the dogs, you know, having too much of that problem, although Bo does. He tends to have allergies and scratches a lot. But anyway, there's been lots of studies for people too, that if you have a healthy immune system, it can help you either fight off cancer cells. You know, your immune system will kill the cancer cells, which will help you prevent you from getting cancer in the first place. And then if you do wind up with cancer, if you boost your immune system, it can help you fight it off and, you know, survive it. So I just have started this with my dogs because we do have the history with Pepper having that cancer, and it seems to me like the cases of cancer in people and in pets have gone up in the recent years. And so I'm just going to try to do whatever I can do to help them. And I got this off of Chewy.com. It's not super cheap, but it's not like so expensive that it's cost preventative of being able to do it. So and the dogs really seem to like it a lot. Ooh, hello guys, it is Sunday and I just got a delivery. I ordered these umbrellas for my deck here, the garden on my deck, because look at the different landscape and different skyscape, I guess you could say, of my back deck, or it's the front deck. With all those pine trees down, it is a lot sunnier on my deck here, and I figured the easiest way to shade my plants would be to buy these umbrellas. So what you do is you attach them. I only have one hand here. You twist this into there, and then you add this piece, and then you can adjust the umbrellas. You can tilt them. So let me go ahead and get all the umbrellas placed where I want them, and then I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. Wow, I tell ya, they are so cute. Oh my goodness. I think I need to get another pack of them though, honestly. I think I am going to go order another set. I wasn't sure, so I only ordered the one set, and now I'm wishing I had gotten two sets. But I think they're adorable. Absolutely adorable. Look at that. They are so cute. Because I could get another one for in this, and then at least one more over here. I don't know if I could stick one down inside here or not. Probably not. But all this lettuce, I'm going to harvest it and give it to the chickens, because it's bolted and it's not good anymore. But I just love the umbrellas in these plants. It's adorable. Yep, I think I'm going to go order another set. They usually come like next day. I just ordered these yesterday, and they have like a UV protectant on there. Super cute. I love them. Well, good morning, friends. It is Tuesday, and I'm trying to get some food in the crock pot. We're kind of down to bare bones here. I had some cooked chicken in the freezer that has been in there for a while. I did put it in vacuum sealed bag, so it still looks really good, but it's from 2022, and I was trying to figure out what am I going to make for supper tonight, because like I said, we are down to the wire on food here. I haven't had a regular grocery shop in several weeks. I did go to Aldi last week. I didn't film it. I was going to, but it was just so hot that day, and I wasn't feeling very well, and by the time I got home, I just want to get this food put away. I don't want to film it. And then tomorrow, we were planning on going shopping today, but it is so beastly hot outside. And it's supposed to be a little bit cooler tomorrow. So we're going to go tomorrow and go to, I'm going to place a Kroger order and go to Walmart. And I'll probably film a grocery haul with that. But I was trying to figure out what am I going to make for supper tonight. And I thought, well, I'll throw that chicken. I'm defrosting it now. It's in the microwave. I'll throw it in the crock pot. Throw some potatoes and carrots in there with it, and have kind of like a chicken stew. Well, I looked in my pantry and I did not have very many potatoes, and look at the state of these carrots. They're not fantastic. I'm going to peel them and wash them and then taste them and make sure they taste good before I throw them in here. But I thought, well, I could just use up my little bits and pieces that I have. And so to bulk this up a bit, since I don't have very many potatoes, I'm going to use a couple of cans of canned potatoes that I had down in my extended pantry. And I'm also going to throw in a can of green beans. And if these carrots wind up tasting bitter or whatever, I've got some canned carrots downstairs I can use as well. Carrots are pretty good. I don't think they're gonna taste funny. They last a long time, but you can tell they've been in there a long time. So I thought while I was preparing all of this, I'd just kind of update you on what's been going on. I did not film at all yesterday. Scott was home, and it's just harder to film when he's home. And he was home because we got a different internet provider, and they had to install a modem or a box or whatever it's called in the house, and he wanted to be here to make sure they put it in the right spot. So he stayed home from work and was home. And yesterday we discovered that I think we've been using those bark collars for the dogs wrong, because they have suddenly stopped working. They never really worked especially well with Oliver anyway. He was always more apt to just ignore it and bark anyway. I think we were leaving them on them too much, because yesterday the people that we rented the storage container from came and got their storage container because it's empty. And of course it was a big flatbed type truck, and they were out there, it seemed like forever, and Percy just went crazy again with the barking, and he wouldn't stop, and his collar was buzzing and beeping and vibrating, and he could have cared less. He just really didn't care at all. So now we are trying something new. I'm giving him a break from the collars for a while. This is that chicken that I had frozen in 2022. Still a little bit frozen. It'll defrost quickly in the crock pot. So anyway, we are trying, Scott looked it up online, a training technique where I've got my potatoes opened and drained. I'm going to chop them up a little bit, the bigger pieces. But anyway, the training technique is where when they bark, you distract them with a treat because they can't sniff and bark at the same time, according to this website. And then once they are quiet, once they stop barking, you say the word quiet and you give them the treat. And you just keep doing that. And it didn't really say how long it takes to work. But then you extend the duration between the command for quiet and giving them the treat. They were just starting to bark a little bit there, but I don't think I need to do anything. So that's what we've been doing, and oh, let me go do that. Well, he stopped barking before I got a chance to get the treat. So anyway, it's just a new idea. And then I think in a week or so, I put the collars back on them, kind of give them a chance to not, to kind of forget about them. Because I think they got desensitized to them, and I think that's the mistake we made, putting them on, leaving the collars on them as long as we did and every day and all of that. And I told my family, it's I know dogs bark. I don't care that they're barking. It's the out of control barking that Percy does. He just gets so worked up. And that's just unbearable. All right, I'm going to make the gravy to go over it. And I've got 2 packs of this chicken gravy mix and a can of chicken broth, low sodium chicken broth. And then I've got just a little bit of dehydrated onion left. I'm going to dump that all in there. I've got more. I just need to refill my jar. And then I've got 1 can of chicken broth. I'm going to whisk it all in. Make sure there's no lumps or anything in there. So then in the pot here, I've got it up on high. I'm going to leave it on high for a few hours, and then I'll turn it back down turn it down to low. I just want to make sure that this chicken, this clump of chicken here, gets defrosted quickly. And I do have raw veggies in here. I'm just going to kind of stir them up a little bit. Got the can of green beans. This is going to be quite a lot of food. And my son does not appreciate vegetables that much, but he'll eat the meat and the potatoes out of it. All right, so we got that. I'm going to put in a little bit of garlic. And then I'm going to put in a few bay leaves. You hear that bird screaming? He has gotten so spoiled. He's always been pretty spoiled, but he's extra spoiled. So then I'm just going to pour off the mixture in. Make sure I get everything out of the corners All right, so I'm gonna put the lid on this and we'll cook this down for, well, on high for a couple hours and then put down on low till supper time. So good to have supper done early in the morning. Well, it's not super early, but it's still morning. On Sunday, I had shown you these umbrellas that I had ordered to shade the garden, and I was so impressed. I went in straight away and ordered another set, and they just came. So I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna put these in the garden. I think I might put some over by my cucumbers too, if they're gonna be tall enough. And then I am going to harvest all of my lettuce and give it to my chickens because it has bolted and it's just not good anymore. We've just had too much heat, too much humidity, and you know, lettuces are typically a spring garden anyway. You're like spring produce. I've gotten quite a lot of meals out of the lettuce, so I'm not disappointed. I do know that if we were living in the house when it was at its peak, I definitely would have gotten more from it. I would have, you know, been out there every day collecting it and harvesting it, I should say, and using it. But, you know how this year's gone and how this spring and summer has gone for us. So I don't need to explain why that didn't happen. But I think the chickens will enjoy it and it's not going to go to waste. I need to make a note. I've been trying to keep a notebook of all the things I've done wrong this year with my garden so that I can hopefully avoid those mistakes next year. I know for one thing, I am not starting anything from seed except maybe tomatoes because I really like those little orange tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. And I don't know what they're called, so I couldn't like buy seed from the store or whatever. And they have done remarkably well. But yeah, other than that and maybe some marigolds, because my marigolds have done well. But I am definitely not starting cucumbers or kale or spinach or lettuce. Anything like that, I am not starting it from seed because it's been a total failure. A lot of work and not a whole lot to show for it. So, and I ended up having to go out and buy plants anyway. Well, I got all the umbrellas up and I only needed 3 more, so I've got an extra one. I tried to put them over by the cucumbers, but it just didn't work. The cucumbers are too tall. So I'm going to go ahead and just completely empty out this pot. I'll give the chickens the weeds and all because they like greenery, greens of any type. Oh my goodness, you guys, it is so beastly hot. Ugh. I just don't like this weather at all. Anything I don't recognize, I'm not going to give to the chickens. I think they're smart enough not to eat something that's bad for them, but you never know with animals. But definitely the lettuce is going. You know, I guess I could stick one of the last umbrella in there just to give some shade to other things. I thought about trying to shade my garden, what you call this thing? Green stack, I think that's what it's called. But then I thought, I'm just going to be pulling all these lettuces out anyway, so. And everything else that's in here is all just volunteer. All the tomatoes are volunteer. Don't know if they'll produce anything. I do still have some kale and spinach up at the top. Seem to be doing okay. right, guys, that is it for what I am going to do outside today. This is absolutely miserable. Absolutely miserable. And I can't stand it. And I don't know how people that live in the South take it. Honestly. Oh, this has been the hottest summer. And I'm probably sure you're tired of people complaining about how hot it is, because it's hot everywhere. But it is hot, and I am ready for fall. I can tell you that for sure. I am ready for fall. Ugh. The other day I was bored, and I was down on my computer. I had to stay downstairs for some reason. I can't remember what it was. Oh, I remember now. They were cutting down trees. They were cutting down the trees, and I just get so anxious when they are dropping them, because the thud and it just startles me, and I don't like it. So I was down on the computer, and I was bored, and I was trying to preoccupy my mind, and I went on Etsy, which was a bad combination. Olivia said, "That's a bad combination, Mom." And I did end up buying a couple of things, and this is one of the things. The other things I ordered have not come in yet, but I got these adorable vintage salt and pepper shakers. I just thought they were so cute. They're ceramic. They're in really good shape. There's no markings on the bottom, so I don't know like how old they are or where they came from. But I just thought they were so stinking cute. They just have a little bit of paint loss, but I don't care about that at all. It just shows that they are old, and I just love them. And then the seller that I bought those from included in the box this free gift of this beautiful bracelet made out of rocks, colored rocks, and then she personalized it. Let's see if I can, let me put it on and I'll show you. There. She personalized it for me, and I thought that was so sweet. It's completely unexpected, and I just love it. I can wear it like with my name up, or I can wear it with my name underneath and the stones up. But yeah, I thought that was so sweet. So when I get the other items that I ordered, I'll be sure to show ya. I had to do a little bit of rearranging of things yesterday because of the way Percy was acting. I did have, if you remember right, I had this table over here in front of this window, which is where I prefer it. But every time Percy would run over there to bark, he would knock into that table. And I've got my Brambley Hedge stuff on here, my Royal Doulton, and I would be so upset if they got broken. So initially I moved it over here, and I hated it. I had to take that picture off the wall, or that plaque, because it went all the way up. And lived it with it that way for a little while, and then I moved it over here, which is not ideal, but it is the safest spot. The dogs can't bump into it at all, and I mean, it's not ideal, but it's what I have to deal with when you have animals. That is just a wallpaper I got off of YouTube for free, a free wallpaper, and I thought it looked really pretty with the setting here of my Brambley Hedge stuff. Got a couple more Brambley Hedge figurines down here, and I just absolutely love them. They're so adorable. And I went down and I kind of took a few things from my Mouse Village that I still have downstairs to use up here. This is like their little reception area with their cakes. One of the things I did order from Etsy was another set of these little tiny chinas. My friend Carolyn actually sent me these, but I just wanted a few more, and so I ordered another set of those. I'm going to put it down here on this table with these little mice down here. And then I moved right here. I had my phone table, which, you know, technically I could move back here, but then it looks so crowded and you know, just overdone. So I moved it over here. Turn the light on. There we go. I moved it over here, And I like it here. I mean, I've had it here before in the past, and there's really no danger of it getting knocked over. And even if it did, there's nothing really on there that is precious that would break. Now, the lamp, I'd be upset if that broke, but other than that, everything on here is pretty much unbreakable. So that's there. And then over here, I put my basket, my stack baskets. And again, if these happen to get knocked over, there's nothing really precious that would get broken. I'd be a little upset if these guys got broken, but this is not like super fragile porcelain, so I think it'd be okay. All right, you guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I'm not feeling so great. I kind of woke up with a little bit of a sore throat and a sinus thing going on. I'm sure it's the weather, the air quality, the pollen, it's But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up here. I'm gonna go down and start editing it so that it will be ready to upload tomorrow. Thank you so much for spending the last several days with me. I'm not sure how this video is going to turn out and how long it's going to be when it's all said and done, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below, and we will talk to you all later. Bye-bye, friends.